Hello and welcome to Newsfeed on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubu Zallah, bringing you trending stories that people are talking about and sharing around the globe today, and also their opinions on such issues. Abiola won June 12 election, says IBB. No evidence USAID funds Boko Haram in Nigeria, US ambassador says. NNDPRA moves to reduce petrol tanker accidents and explosions. Netherlands to return stolen Benin bronzes to Nigeria. Now, top on what's trending, former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida IBB has said late Moshood Kashimawo Olawole MKO Abiola won the June 12, 1993 presidential election. The June 12 election has been a heated topic with several accounts of the event narrated by different parties. Daily Trust reports that in its autobiography, A Journey in Service, which was launched in Abuja on Thursday, February 20th, the former Nigerian leader said he was convinced that Abiola won. This is according to Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, Nigeria's immediate past vice president, who reviewed the book. Quote, he also answers the question of whether Abiola actually won the June 12 election, and I quote him, although I am on record to have stated after the election that Abiola may not have won the election, upon deeper reflection and a closer examination of all available facts, particularly the detailed election results, which are published as an appendix to this book, there was no doubt that MKO Abiola won the June 12 elections, end quote. The former vice president quoted IBB to have said, given another chance, he would handle the events of the June 12 election differently. Abiola, candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the election, adjudged as Nigeria's freest, was up against Bashir Tofa of the National Republican Convention, NRC. The results of the election were trickling in when the military regime ordered the then National Electoral Commission, NEC, under the leadership of late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, to halt the exercise. In his book, Babangida was quoted to have said he was happy that ex-president Muhammadu Buhari acknowledged Abiola and honored him with the greatest national title of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, GCFR. Now reacting, someone said, 32 years later, and he finally admits what Nigerians have always known. The real question is, why now? Clearing his conscience, rewriting history, or just another PR stunt? Either way, justice delayed is still justice denied. A user with the handle name according to Lucy wrote, what do we need this information for? My papa moto lost during the katakata wey una create that year. Thank God he recovered it. Una still make us hide for village for up to 8 months. We no go school. The last reaction on the story is from one Shola, and it says, when they are scared that the end is near, they begin to repent and make amendments. Can you bring him back from the dead? You single-handedly destroyed a family and put our democracy in disrepute. Made our nation a laughingstock. It's never been the same again since then. Next on what's trending, the United States ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, has dismissed allegations that the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, funds Boko Haram or other terrorist organization. Mills, who met with members of the Nigeria Governors Forum in Abuja on Wednesday night, said there are no evidence to back up the allegation. He stated that no country condemns Boko Haram's violence more strongly than the United States, assuring that if any evidence is found, the U.S. government will work with the Nigerian government to investigate it. Now reacting, when Sami Kush wrote, maybe the officials need to ask questions like, why did the U.S. send a campaign manager for Buhari's election that took Jonathan out? And why did they force the South African mercenaries brought in by the Jonathan government to combat Boko Haram and bring back the Chibok girls to stop their operations? And how did the Obama government and wife had bring back our girls before even the people of Nigeria? And Oblast is saying, what did I just read? If evidence is found, you will help Nigeria fight. Are these people talking to kids? More like hiding a cup and you are helping the owner of that cup to find it. Last reaction on the story says, Trump didn't lie about it. Don't give us misinformation channels. You guys are so complicit in the downfall of this country. How did Boko Haram manage to survive with weapon, food, and surveillance? Who is providing Boko Haram with intelligence? Trump didn't lie about it, but Nigerian leaders won't let it go far. Next on what's trending, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has debunked claims that Nigeria sent a large contingent of athletes and officials to represent her at the Invictus Games in Vancouver, Canada. Speaking in Abuja while playing host to the victorious athletes, General Musa, who was denied visa to the Games alongside other officers, insisted that Nigeria deserves to be treated with respect, as he explained that the military was invited and all necessary protocols were followed. He added that the application process involved key government officials, including Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Security Advisor. General Musa, however, commended the Nigerian participants at the Invictus Games, praising their courage and resilience. First reaction on the story says, "Can we all just stay in this country without traveling for 1 year?" Next one is from one Raphael and it reads, "Let's close these and focus on more important things that want to ravage this country. Can't we stay here and salvage this country instead of all these constant travels here and there by the president, claiming he is looking for investors while those in Nigeria are closing shops to neighboring countries?" The last reaction on the story says, "If it's true that CDS denied that he sent large number of visa applications, I believe him that the rumor is fake and this so-called prof must come out and prove his claims that he was spreading on media. Some people are just enemies to this country and we must be guarded with our statement." Next on what's trending, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has said that no truck carrying more than 60,000 liters capacity of petrol will be allowed to load in any depot across the country from March 1st, 2025. It also added that no truck with over 45,000 liters in capacity will be allowed to load products by the fourth quarter of 2025. The authority made this known following a meeting with critical stakeholders on Wednesday. According to the regulatory agency, this is the first measure to mitigate the continued petroleum tanker accidents and explosions, which has led to the loss of lives in the country. The first reaction on the story says, "Less petrol liters tankers, more smaller tankers on the road to meet up with the demand." Next one is from one Ebi Great and it reads, "Them one repair the road, cause before the bad road pandemic, I don't think I heard so much about falling trucks, not just petrol tankers." Last reaction of the story says, "Two other things need to be done. Number one, strong regulations for tanker driver training, certification, health assessment, and continuous retraining and licensing. Number two, fix the roads to prevent avoidable accidents." And the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, on Wednesday tasked state governments, traditional rulers, and civil society organizations with the need to check the spending of local government administrations within their domains. According to him, something drastic must be done to discourage corruption at the council levels because the structure of accountability at the councils, as presently constituted, does not inspire confidence. Olukoyede made this known when he addressed a mixed audience of activists, traditional rulers, and local government bosses at the Gombe State Local Government Summit in the Northeast State. He bemoaned the trend where local councils have become automatic teller machines for greedy public officers who feed on the ignorance of lethargy of the rural population to mine public wealth for private gain. Olukoyede also faulted the trend where local government chairmen reside in state capitals and only visit their councils once a month to share the largesse called federal allocation. He said councils must not just be caricatures existing in names, but be proactive to deliver good governance to the people of the grassroots. And the first reaction on this story is from one Mike Obiora and it reads, "The local government fund that's still passing through governors' hands, una never serious for this country and traditional rulers that they are shaping the money with." Alpha is saying, "It don't dey reach when even una need probing because too many things no dey add up with una since inception." And the last reaction on the story is saying, "So na traditional rulers and civil activists go check local government spending? Why not create structures? Can there be EFCC solid structures in all local governments with their bosses? Now only you they talk for every matter. Now Abuja you day. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in no time. Just stay with us. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, you're watching Newsfeed on Trust TV. The Lagos State House of Assembly has denied the rumored defection of 27 of its members from the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) to the opposition Labour Party (LP). In a statement on Wednesday, the chairman of the House Committee on Information, Strategy and Security, Ogundipe Olukoyede, said reports insinuating the defection of members of the Assembly are false, misleading, and a deliberate attempt to misinform the public. The Assembly also said the rumored defection was aimed to sow discord and confusion within the Assembly and among the good people of Lagos State. Now, the first reaction we're taking on this story says, in Lagos, they are only defecting at their own detriment, because last, now APC go run till the end. The second one is saying, so this is the looming resignation Sheun was referring to. Last one reads, if they defect to Labour Party, I don't think they'll be returning back in 2027. Still talking about the 2027 election, the leadership of the Labour Party has denied plans to give an automatic ticket to its 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi in the 2027 election. It also denied the claim of an automatic ticket for the Abia State Governor Alex Otti. The rebuttal comes a few days after the factional National Publicity Secretary of the party, Abayomi Arabambi, announced that the party would field the former Anambra State Governor to stop President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid. Arabambi stated this when he was featured as a guest on Channels Television. According to the Labour Party chieftain, Tinubu would not have a smooth sail in the next general election. Now, the first reaction on the story says, I don't think Peter Obi will contest with Labour Party. He might defect to another small party and run with it. It's just that Tinubu is a master in all this African style of politics. Next one is from one Emeka Martins Emeka, and it says, the day Peter Obi left PDP, he counted on no one, needed no one. Against impossible odds, he allegedly won a stolen election by animating a party no one knew. His superpower is the yearning of all who seek the new Nigeria, which remains possible. Next one is from a user with the handle name Acapella the Dawn, and it says, nobody should be given automatic tickets anymore. Now to a very sad story. A 38-year-old American woman has filed a lawsuit against a fertility clinic after the wrong embryo was implanted in her, causing her to give birth to a child that was not biologically hers. She later had to surrender the baby to its rightful parents. Christina Mura from Savannah, Georgia, turned to in vitro fertilization to fulfill her dream of becoming a mother using a sperm donor to conceive. In December 2023, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy, but immediately knew something was wrong. The child was black, while both she and the donor were white. Ms. Murray said she contacted the clinic coastal fertility specialist and discovered that doctors had implanted another patient's embryo in her instead of her own. She said the baby's biological parents were notified and they demanded custody. Now reacting, someone said, so in other words, they used her as a surrogate. Next one says, just like that, what happened to all the time she carried the baby in her womb? The time is enough to make her baby come through. Last reaction in the story says, you can't even trust people to their jobs. Finally, the Netherlands says it will return more than 100 Benin bronzes that British troops looted from Nigeria in the late 19th century. Thousands of these culturally significant sculptures and the carvings were stolen during the violent destruction of Benin City in modern-day Nigeria's Edo State in 1897. The treasures were sold both to private collectors and others to museums like Wereld Museum in the Netherlands, which has displayed these artifacts for decades. Olugbile Holloway, Director General of Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments, said the return of the 119 artifacts is the largest repatriation of Benin antiquities. Now reacting, one Sasha Abdallah wrote, "Kudos to the Netherlands. Next, the British Museum should return all of the artifacts they stole from Egypt." Chukuma Johnson is saying, if it's other European countries, it's tagged stolen. If it's England, it's tagged preserved artifacts. And the last reaction we're taking on the program today is from one Ibrahim, and it says, "We are still waiting for the day the British government will decide to return everything it has stolen from Africa and India." And that's a wrap on the program today. Do also follow us across all our social media platforms for more programs, news, and documentaries. Until next week, goodbye.